All right. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about saying goodbye, a profound life transition. So, heavier topic, something that can help people grieve, appreciate their life a bit more, and just be thankful for everything. So,
Mhm.
let's get into that.
I was supposed to die when I was 10 years old because that was the average lifespan of kids like me born with cystic fibrosis back in 1972. But I didn't die. Instead, Ricky, Cheryl, and Sylvia, three other kids with CF I met in the hospital, died. I was supposed to die when I was 19 when I had my first massive lung bleed and then near-death experience. But I didn't. Instead, 2 weeks earlier, my best friend from cystic fibrosis summer camp, Karen, died. I was supposed to die when I was 32, when my lungs finally stopped working and I went into respiratory failure. But I didn't. Instead, 18-year-old Xavier Cervantes became brain dead in a car accident, and his family agreed to donate his organs. His lungs came to me.
Whoa.
After a few days on a ventilator, I woke up.
Wow.
Along the way, I survived with the help of a cherished companion, my identical twin sister, Annabelle. Anna also had CF and received 2 double lung transplants.
Whoa.
Together, we were the power of 2. We traveled the world, we wrote a book, we became global advocates for organ donation, and we inspired a documentary film. But most of all, we deeply loved each other. I was supposed to die many times, but I haven't. But being left behind has been harder than all of my physical struggles combined. And now, I have outlived my best friend and soulmate, my twin sister, Anna. Sorry. Who died 8 months ago from cancer.
Yeah.
Last year, Anna and I gave a TED Talk together, and today I'm doing this alone. But I do have the strength to stand in front of you today and talk about loss, because I spent my entire life practicing the art of saying goodbye.
Well,
In the last
so with a video like this, I just listen, I feel like videos like this is all you can do because you're actually going to learn. Yeah, these,
Agreed.
there's so many like things we could talk about or what other people talk about, but like we're all sort of digressing, right? We're all not looking at it in the face. And I think that's correct because how else could you carry on with your life if you get so hung up in loss is inevitable, It's just
Yeah, it's true. I think I heard it earlier today. I think it was Yuval Noah Harari. I was watching a podcast, um, and he said, somewhere in that podcast, that we tend to distract ourselves from a fundamental existential fact that as we know ourselves, the pattern that is me sitting on this video and talking,
yeah.
that's going to cease at some point or change or cease, depending on what you believe. Who knows what happens?
Yeah.
But I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And a lot of what I do, and I'll even say this myself, is distract myself from that fundamental fact in various different ways.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's all bad or anything, but hear from a woman who's a line that struck me most is being left behind seemed harder for her than actually. So I can kind of
Yeah, it's probably a little bit into survivor.
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
Survivor's Guilt. And
that's a good point. Yeah,
late at night, sometimes I'll watch like woo-woo shows that are really deep, and they're constantly it's history, right? So it's like all these, as you would say, we stand on the shoulders of giants, right? And I realized like the totality and like just the little piece I am in this thing. And now that I'm a father, I do cry sometimes because I'm just like, I'm so afraid of like what this world is difficult, and they have to inherit the earth. And this episode specifically is to help me learn how to function, and move through things. I try my best.
It's true. Yeah, and I think someone like this is just inspirational. I mean, the very fact that she's gotten up only 8 months after her, in this woman's case, her twin sister died was just and speaking in public about it.
Yeah.
That itself is just a huge feat. The fact that she's traveled the world and advocated for cystic fibrosis,
Yeah.
she's made the best of what many would find understandably a tough situation.
I find
Like it's just really something, man. Like
I find like her bravery is just, it's beautiful. And most people who are brave under dire circumstances, there's just a lot of heroes out there. And I wish people would look more at the good, like she's a hero, you know. They get so hung up on trying to present people as actors, and I get it, it's all digression, right? Music and entertainment and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but,
those digressions and distractions, right? The little things that sort of, you know. Yeah.
Are you ready to? Because I watched a little bit of this when I was finding the video. So she's going to go through a lot of the helpful hints, right, to deal with the power.
Oh yeah.
Goodbye. So
let's do it.
I think we're ready. Let's go.
I think so.
All right.
Last 30 years that I've been involved in the cystic fibrosis community, I have lost 123 friends.
123 friends, right? With faces and names. Wow.
This is a screenshot from our documentary film, The Power of Two, with just a few of their faces. These were beautiful, vibrant people who taught me to be the best person I could be by loving and being loved. And no matter what I've lost, they've taught me that I've still been given much more than what has been taken away. Now, I'm not telling you my story for any sympathy, because loss is the price all of us have to pay for still being here.
Yep.
Now, not all losses are difficult. Here, I got to say goodbye to my lungs after my transplant.
Wow.
I was able to thank them.
Look at that. That's her lungs.
Look at that.
You know?
That is wild.
She got to say goodbye to her lungs. Wow.
For 32
and I think I know what
years
she's
of
going to say next. It's thanking
hard
them for
work,
32
and
years
then
hard
say
work.
good riddance. Losing someone we love is the hardest experience that any of us will.
You know, it's weird. I get this thought sometimes that we're just meat. Like me and you are just meat and bones. And you know, when you're younger, you think you're invincible, right? Like you just do. You jump certain places. You don't worry about breaking your ankle or whatever. If you bleed, it just heals.
Right.
But then I'm like, I don't know. A couple of years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, I was riding my bike. You know, you rode one with me that one time. You fell off.
That's a story too, right?
And I was
to your story.
I was just like, I'm just meat and bones. I need to be careful, you know. But I honestly, the reason why I do make my jokes, I understand this, is because like it's just the only way I can rationalize something. It's so hard for me to stay. I'm always serious, but I need my humor. I have to. It's the only way.
Yeah.
You know.
I think having a sense of humor is really healthy and important, even about things that are just morbid and dark, like in the right context.
Yeah.
For example, I have a friend, I won't go to the whole story, but he was on a flight. Something happened on the flight. And he's telling me over the phone what had just happened. And I was still waiting at the airport for my flight. And I burst out laughing. It's not really funny. I mean, it was sad for the person it happened to.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was just the scenario was so absurd that I couldn't help but laugh. And I just thought, like, you know, in the back of my mind, why am I laughing at this?
Yeah. He wasn't laughing, right?
Yeah, well, he did eventually. Yeah, because it all turned out okay in the end, but it was just the idea of what I guess could have happened. And he just burst out laughing as I'm laughing. And I'm apologizing to him in tears of laughter. I shouldn't be laughing at this, right?
Yeah.
He says, no, he's like, I actually understand because it's so ridiculous. And I think it's the fact it's a coping mechanism. We all know we're going to face that potentially. We don't know when. And it's just one of those things. It's the best way I feel like I can cope sometimes, is to laugh at it.
Yeah.
What else?
I had a friend once who, whenever I would tell her about my problems, she would laugh and she goes, "It's the way you say it. It's the way you know." And I was like, "Why do you always laugh when I tell you about my troubles?" And she's like, "You just say it so funny." So yeah.
I think you're right. I think that's it. Yeah, it's the way someone says it, the way you told the story was what had me in stitches.
So yeah, keep your sense of humor. It's important, you know, because when you face that
I think that is important. I agree.
You know, every day you wake up and you don't have any true problems, you know, it's a great day to smile.
Yeah, right?
Ever have to deal with. It goes against our basic instinct that we're wired for attachment in a world where everyone is temporary. Thanks to help my transplant, I've been able to get older and learn a few lessons about saying loss that I'd like to share with you today. And by the way, if you're not planning to lose anyone in your life, these lessons won't apply.
Well,
My first lesson is clear that saying goodbye often evokes an emotional reaction that has the potential to paralyze.
yes.
Many people, maybe even some of you, might react by saying nothing's going to happen or I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Because the death of a loved one is way too hard to fathom.
Yeah.
For me, I've had years of experience to practice,
Wow.
and I finally realized that my emotional reaction is manageable.
Right.
Emotions are like waves in an ocean. They simply come and go, and I am their observer. I just go with the flow.
We talk about this all the time with meditation because that's basically what you're learning, you know, and it's so true. I've been crippled with, I've had anxiety and manic depressive, and like I think it's from not facing what your problem is, not talking about it, and it just starts to consume you. You know, it's difficult.
I think that it's pretty sound and deep to me too, and it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because I think a lot of the times even I get anxious about something, it's because I'm not really facing what I need to face. And I think that like if I just, and I notice that anxiety starts to lift almost straight away when I face what I'm supposed to face, and I'm like kind of start working on it, whatever it is, right? Whatever's making me anxious in a given moment, and then suddenly that anxiety starts to lift, and eventually it's gone. It does go away. At least in my case, it does. Or in that situation, it did.
But it also takes the bravery to face it, and you know, I guess we do that when we want to, right? Like when you're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult. And then the other thing is people will start to fall into their habits, which will be drinking, smoking.
Oh, right.
Being promiscuous. There's some thousand things people do to digress themselves, which normally is only a temporary solution. So
that's true too.
Let's check her out.
Neither resisting or holding on to them. Now, the good news is that all of us can become mindful of our feelings and to trust that we can be stronger than our sorrows. My second lesson involves finding purpose in all of this losing. Fully experiencing my own pain made me more aware and compassionate of other people's pain. So I became a bereavement social worker, supporting those who have lost a loved one.
Wow.
Together with their experiences and mine, I have been able to explore all of the choices we have in saying goodbye. My third lesson is that there is no right or wrong way to say goodbye. Grief, which is the set of normal reactions to loss, is an art, not a science. Grief is a uniquely expressed process. Now, most people think of grief as curling up in a ball and crying our eyes out. Well, grief is so much more than that. It is a deeply intellectual process of making sense of what happened. And also,
grief is an intellectual process. Well, that's a really good way to put that.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. Her statement about no wrong way about saying goodbye reminded me of there's a culture in Indonesia. I think it's in Indonesia. They bring the deceased into the home, like almost like a wake, like in a Christian wake, but they have this huge party.
Yep.
It looks like what we would think of in a wedding. It's like this massive celebration. They have food, everything, and they're all partying all around the deceased, almost like they're saying goodbye, but like in a, for lack of better words, a happy way.
Yep. I think I'm familiar.
It's really wild. Yeah.
I think I'm familiar with what you're saying. Is it also when they bring them in the house and then they'll sit them in a chair and they'll like drink around them and smoke cigarettes and stuff?
Yes. That's the one. I think that's the one. Yeah.
The first time I
so
saw
crazy
that,
when you see it from the Western view. Yeah.
It was bizarre and it made me feel uncomfortable because they keep the corpse around for some time.
Oh, me too. I was very uncomfortable. I was like,
yeah.
wait. I was like, there's Uncle John, right? And he's passed, but his body is still there. I was very uncomfortable.
But the way it works, you'll constantly have a body in the house because I don't know, like it happens so often. Like you would
I get,
grandmoms,
yeah.
grandpops, aunts, uncles,
It's
like
grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles.
yeah, but like mom becomes
Yeah.
grandmom fairly quickly, right? What's that take? 20 years, some 15 years?
Not long.
Not
Yeah, I was
long.
thinking about that earlier today. Funnily enough, it does not take long,
No,
right? Like I was thinking
no,
about my dad was my age at one point,
sure
and
was.
now he's a grandpa.
Yep.
And I'm like, that wasn't really that long.
No.
Like it's yeah, so it's
Yep. Again,
something, man.
the humor. You're like me. We have to do it.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
swear,
yeah.
I'm not ever being disrespectful. It's just, I mean, if I
No,
really consume
right.
that idea, I would just get off this and go cry in a corner if I'm really going to accept the
You're
the
right.
finality
Yeah.
of it all. You know, like
Me too.
I
too.
would, and
Mhm.
maybe I will. I don't know. I'd rather not.
Yeah.
So a
Probably after
spiritual
this,
process of finding meaning and purpose. Now, my parents are German and Japanese.
Hey,
So our
great combination. Excellent.
cultures
I
are
have to agree.
stoic,
Yes.
reflective, and persevering. Yes, we do shed tears. We're human. But we also put one foot in front of the other and go through the motions of functioning. Many people do that. My mother deals with her grief by cooking large amounts of food, enough for an army.
Well,
My brother works on a series of home improvement projects, making me wonder how many guys using power tools are actually grieving a loss. My father hikes thousands of miles on the Pacific Crest Trail alone.
oh wow, that's awesome.
My grief looks like this, me standing before you, looking just fine on the outside, but in turmoil in the inside, my latest and greatest loss of my twin, the most difficult I've ever faced.
Yeah.
My fourth lesson is that saying goodbye is much easier when we grieve collectively.
Yeah.
At our annual Cystic Fibrosis Memorial, we light a candle for our CF friends who've died, and then we remember them. This assures us survivors that when our time comes, we won't be forgotten.
Yeah.
You see, attachment extends way beyond the grave. In the last 3 weeks of my sister's life, she was home on hospice care. Every day, she would lay on a cot outside under the sun,
Oh.
and she would doze on and off, but a stream of visitors would come by and share stories. Anna was never alone. Thanks to hospice care, this was as good of a goodbye as we could have asked for.
Wow.
Now, my talk is called The Art of Saying Goodbye. When something or someone dies, a burst of creativity is often born.
Yeah.
A few weeks after Anna died, my artist friend Robin invited Anna's friends and all of our family to create these Tibetan prayer flags, each expressing their own unique farewell to Anna, but together in this communal ritual, creating something beautiful. Even friends from around the world, many who couldn't come to Anna's funeral, were able to feel connected to Anna one final time. Now, in my 20s, my artist friend Michelle invited me to participate in a cystic fibrosis photography project. In this photograph and the accompanying poem, I was able to express how I felt spending 5 hours a day on medical treatments. See, art has helped me not only say goodbye to my loved ones, but also to my own health, ability, and beauty. In my 30s, when I became too sick to work, my sister and I embarked on writing our twin memoir. We wanted to document this symbiotic bond and also to tell stories of our CF friends who had died. By writing about them, we could bring them back to life. See, writing enabled me to have a little bit of control over all of the uncontrollable past and helped me reorganize and gain perspective of what I had been through. Today, I lead therapeutic writing groups for those who are grieving a loss. Well-intended people often tell us that we should move on, let go, or worse, get over it. Yeah. But what that does is silence us. Writing allows people who are grieving to have a voice and to find some power over their pain. One of the members of my group, Carell, lost her only daughter and husband and wrote a powerful poem. This is just a very brief excerpt. Carell writes, "Grief amplifies and intensifies. It disrupts, interrupts, turns apple pie into dill pickles, music into sirens.
Huh.
Another member of my group, Christine, after the death of her mother, wrote, "If you were to ask me what stage of grief I'm in, I would say denial, anger, fear, profound sadness, sequentially, and then all at once, and sometimes not at all." Christine expresses her quandary over the stage model of grief, first expressed by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross after her many interviews with dying people, not those who are grieving. Now, the problem with the stage model, besides the fact that they were never empirically tested, is that they create an expectation that grief is a linear process and that it moves towards resolution, when in fact, grief is chaotic and illogic, not linear. And it follows no timetable. Christine shows us that. My final lesson is that grieving is about choosing what to hold on to and what to let go of. In the past, I spent a lot of energy trying to make sure I didn't forget my friends. I brought a tape recorder to cystic fibrosis summer camp, and I recorded conversations with my friends. I still have those tape cassettes, but no tape player. I also made an annual scrapbook, but over so many years, now my bookshelves and closets are overflowing with memories. By trying to hold on to the material stuff has made it more difficult for me to do the actual internal work of saying goodbye. Saying goodbye means finding a way to acknowledge that people come and go in our lives, but they leave permanent imprints in our characters. We inherit traits from everybody who crosses our paths and touches our hearts. If you have ever lost a loved one or someday live long enough to be left behind, I hope that you too will be able to find some grace in goodbyes. I firmly believe that by embracing our mortality with full awareness, we can learn to experience life in a deeper and more passionate way. And if we can acknowledge that someday we might say goodbye to our loved ones, we can cherish and love them deeper and remember them with gratitude more than with pain. Now, it's almost time for me to say goodbye to you today, but before I do, I would like to share one more form of art with you. For the last 7 years, I have been practicing music as a way to honor my lung donor, Xavier. Wow. With the bagpipes, the world can still hear Xavier. And so, with art and storytelling, Xavier and all of our loved ones can remain eternally present in absence. So then perhaps we don't have to say goodbye after all. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Bagpipes, man. Well, that's a good choice, too.
And she has cystic fibrosis, right? So that's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Did she had it, right? When she got new lungs, I don't think I don't know.
Well, no, that's a good question. Yeah, but I think you're right. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Wow. Danny boy, pipes are calm.
Hey, that's cool.
Thank you.
Well done. Wow. Well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good advice.
So let's get into that. Which one am I dropping here? We'll drop this one. All right, that was a heavy one, man.
It was.
But I'm glad we did it. I'll share with you. That's where
Yes.
my mind goes a lot anymore. It's not about death. It's not about all these things. It's just this like knowing of being finite. Of if you start doing the math, right, you'll say, how many more times do I get to see my parents? How many more
Mhm.
times do I get to see my cousin? Right? There seems to be a number
Yeah.
on everything, and as you get older, you see people less, right? So it's like, and then also if you see people who are younger, say your nieces and nephews, your children, stuff like that, you're just like, oh wow, like I'm not up and coming. I'm, maybe not even my
Oh
prime.
yeah.
I'm in like the middle, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know. It just I can't experience it because there's moments when I'm with my son. It's just him and me, and we have like these jokes we work on, and he remembers them. The look he gives
Mhm.
me in his eyes, like when we look at each other, and he has this big smile, because I'm like that. I can just love. Like it's a great moment. I just love it. It's like the smallest stuff I can absolutely recognize, and I just really enjoy it. And they're fleeting, but they
Yeah.
happen a lot. If you really
Mhm.
look for the magic moments that happen all day long, they happen a lot. There's this
Yeah.
shared jokes, the shows you watch, the all the stuff you do together, and as you're growing your bond.
Mhm.
And it's nice.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It really is. It really is. I always one of the couple lines, but two of the ones I like a lot. It's really one is that statistically, when you look at life expectancy wherever you live, and you realize, like whenever that point is in life, and it came for me pretty recently. It's like statistically speaking, I'm going to see fewer sunrises.
Yeah.
I'm on the downslide, right? Like not to
Yeah.
sound too, but okay, so then there's that, and then it's like, and then I distract myself, but then there's also the idea that to pay attention and to treat every moment as if it were your last, and I think a lot of people can use that as an excuse to distract themselves into just insanity.
Yeah.
But I would say if I'm talking to someone, perhaps I should talk to them as if it's the last time I see them because you really never know. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully, I will see, statistically, I'll see people again, but one never knows.
Yeah.
And that way, the goodbye doesn't have to, it's always going to be dramatic, but it doesn't have to feel as bad because I believe at some point I could take some comfort in the grieving process that I've treated that person well throughout their entire life or every
Yeah.
interaction I had with them. Because, like she said, too, people leave like a permanent mark.
Yeah.
And that hit me too, because I'm like, yeah, for good or bad, people can leave a mark on your experience.
Yeah.
And
They do.
I'd like to be one of the people who leaves a good mark and, on the experiences of others. And
Yeah.
yeah, man, saying goodbye is certainly not easy.
Well, I think the roughest goodbyes are the ones that are like
Yeah.
unexpected.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
my
I agree.
my mother's cat died not that long ago, and I wouldn't call it my mother's cat.
Mm,
I would say our cat. I love that cat. Her name is Mau Mau, and Mau Mau
oh, yeah.
is I just I really appreciate what a good life she had and how good of a pet, how good my mom was to Mau Mau. And I used to constantly,
Yeah.
when she was alive, I would always be like, I'm so happy for you that you got to come to this cruel world. And, because she was like out in the woods and she was taken in. So I was just always so happy that she was able to have a good life. And even up to the end,
That's nice.
she was taken care of.
Yeah.
And I brought my mom because she was grieving. People when they lose animals are rough because they're way
Oh,
better
yeah.
friends than people are. There's a whole it's a different kind of love. It's better. They're there for you. They don't judge you. And I brought her a blanket that has like a photo blanket, and then she's able to like
Yeah.
pet the cat. Like the blanket feels nice, right? So when you pet the picture, it feels like
Oh,
you're
that's
petting.
nice. It's almost like yeah,
Yeah.
that's really
And I think
nice.
the blankets are
That's really
great
nice.
because the blankets are what kind of comfort you, right? So if you have pictures of the
Yeah.
people on the blankets, you can kind of grieve.
Yeah.
I think that's sweet.
I was about to say, right, the blanket itself is kind of a comforting thing. It
Yeah.
it, it wraps around you. It's almost like a hug, kind of.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you're right. When people lose pets, I used to wonder, like, man, some people seem to really, really grieve, I mean, it hits them like a mountain,
Yep.
you know, on
Dogs
their head.
for sure.
You dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to know. I've had pets and I've lost pets,
Yep.
and I certainly grieved. But then I realized, yeah, it's because the pet, we're not perceiving the pet judging us the way a human might.
Yeah.
It's just the cat or the dog is just there, and they're there with you.
They're there with you
And
all
they're
the
part of your
time.
life.
They're with you in your
They're with you all the time.
They're with you
Yeah.
in your bed. You take walks with them. You talk to them. You
Yep.
don't even talk to them like the way you and I are
talk to
talking.
them.
You talk to them like cute. You talk to them with that voice, that happy voice.
Yeah, you're right. You're
And,
right. Yeah.
Animal, it's really, really tough, you know. And I
They
think
don't. Yeah.
a good judge of a person is if you love animals, you probably got a really good heart, you know.
I was gonna say, yeah, they say like people who, I mean, who treat animals well, they're probably gonna treat people well too. People who treat animals badly, watch out for them because
Yeah.
if they're treating an animal that bad, how are they treating another person?
Terribly the same.
It's just it's awful. So like, yeah, I've noticed people who love animals. I've gotten along with people like that very well. So
Yep.
I like to think I like animals too. They're nice.
And
But yeah, loss in any form is tough to deal with.
yeah, and that's why, you know, I like doing the show with you because like every time we get to cover a topic, it kind of allows me to be, I don't want to say immortal, but at least I have, you know, eventually YouTube will disappear, videos will disappear, but it does give me something where I did say it, I did acknowledge it, and maybe my son can watch these videos. Maybe, you know, he can watch them 15, 30 years from now and listen to my perspective, hear my voice, listen to my thoughts, and you know, and it's there for him, you know.
I thought about that ironically before I knew what we were talking about today. I thought about it this morning, where I realized, I'm going to see fewer sunrise than I've seen, and I thought, like, you know, doing a show like this with you not only lets me connect with you and share myself, you know, and my opinions, I guess, with you, but also with anyone kind enough to watch these videos. It is a kind of immortality.
Yeah.
Like I am out there. So if someone finds these podcasts and listens to us 20, 30, 80 years from now, assuming they're
it has
still
a lot
around,
more value when you put time.
Yeah, it's kind of
like,
cool.
For instance, we just did a video about a blizzard from 1888. Imagine there was a person who was able to make a video of that experience, and you could hear him talk, see his family. Like it would be valuable. You'd be like, wow, look at this. This is historical. This is, you know, of the time. So I think a lot of people get confused that if you're of the time, what you're doing has no value. And I don't think that's true.
Yeah. I'm 100% with you there. It's not true. We're all here, and each and every person in this world is unique.
Yep.
And so there's really that experience, you know, it's really something. So you know, seize the day, right? I guess
Seize the
live
day.
the moment, pay attention, enjoy every moment.
Enjoy it all.
Yeah,
And
as best you can. You know,
if my son does watch this many years from now, I love you, buddy, and I know you're doing good. Hello.
Nice. Yeah.
And with that, I guess we're out, right?
Peace.
Did you